Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to Geek Done Right, the show where I talk about whatever it is I feel like. I'm Chris. Thanks for coming to geek out with me. Well, surprise! Finally, after over a year, the Tigerstorm build video is here. I did not mean to rhyme that, but it was pretty cool that I did, right? Being that it's been over a year since I built Tigerstorm, I figured that I would remind y'all that these are older parts. So you're not going to see KB Lake, you're not going to see Coffee Lake, you're not going to see any of the 10 series graphics cards or anything like that. But this was during a time where, you know, we didn't have a whole lot of money, but I wanted to make sure to build at least a semi-premium kind of computer. I don't recommend doing this all the time because it could really kind of bite you in the butt if you're not able to check for the parts. But I went ahead and planned out every single part that I wanted, and then I was checking the prices constantly to see if I could get things at the best price. And then what I did next was I just bought them as I had the money for it, and it was at a good price for me to view purchasing it. Let me not hold back any longer. Let me kind of walk you through this build, and then we'll show you the footage of the completed Tigerstorm. Starting off this build is putting in the processor. To do that, just lift up the side right there. It lifts up, pull it back, and there you go. Make sure to put the gold arrow, match arrow with arrow. It's in the bottom left hand of the processor, and then it'll only go in one way, but once you get it seated, give it a little wiggle. Make sure not to touch the bottom of the processor though, because that would be bad. All right, put the lid back down, tuck it underneath that screw, and then it's going to take a little bit of force to bring the lever back down, but don't worry, and the cover will pop right off. Don't pull off that cover beforehand because you don't want to expose the pins to really any elements. It helps out a lot. All right, now we're putting in the RAM. Just line it up and make sure that that you push the tabs out first. It'll clip right on down. Some motherboards, like this one, only have the one side that you clip, so that's interesting in here. Just make sure that both are seated just right. Match up color for color. On this motherboard, it's gray with gray. The gray slot with the gray slot if you only have two. Okay, now I'm putting on the back plate so that I can put on my Kraken X61, that beautiful beast. Interesting thing is that they already put the thermal paste on the die there, so you don't have to add any more. After putting in the screws, just set it right on top of there. And then I suggest hand screwing this in, just like I'm doing here. Screw it in a crosshatch pattern, like so. And just hand tighten. You don't want to over tighten these things at all. Hand tighten as best as you can, and then just do a smidge of a tweak with the screwdriver there. Not too much, as you can tell there. I'm not doing like huge turns. You don't want to crack your motherboard, so that's what could possibly happen if you over tighten these things. After pulling off the label, I'm going to install that beautiful M.2 SSD. Just line it up, slide it in, push it down, screw it in. Easy peasy. Alright, and bippity boppity boo, you're done. You don't have to do it this way, but I put in the power supply next. Interesting thing about this power supply is that they don't go in just a straight square. Some of them are offset, like here and also over here. So keep that in mind with this particular case. And then next I installed the IO shield, and those generally take a little bit of force to put in. Now line up the motherboard with the IO shield, and what's really cool is there's a little pin in the center to help me bring it in or to hold it in while I screw it down. So next I install my radiator and fans, once again using that crosshatch method. Really helps a lot. It's kind of hard to put the first fan in, but once you do, the second fan is relatively easy to be able to install. It keeps it pretty straight. All right, to install your SSD, they have these nifty little trays in the Lux. You just slide in your SSD there and then screw it in, and then it has the friction hold mounts as you can see there. I just place it in and push it down until I feel a little click there. So to add more airflow, I am removing one of the drive cages since I'm putting in that many drives. It's nice to have that option though. You just unscrew those thumb screws at the top, and then also the thumb screws on the bottom of the top one. Those are really well done to hold it in place. So take out all 4 of those screws in order to access the top. You don't have to do as many for the bottom. And then once you do, you just slide it right out, and look at how much more airflow I'm able to get into the case. It's awesome. For the hard drives, they make it real easy. You just slide out one of the drive cages, and then they have the little wings that you snap on there. So you just make sure it's seated well, fold them back, click, click. Yep, nice and solid. And then slide it right into that drawer until it clicks. All right, now we just wire it all up. Make sure to check your motherboard manual to make sure that you're wiring everything up correctly, that you're getting the signal where you need it. That is very important, and to make sure that you have enough power for everything. Now I am seating in the graphics card, making sure that it's nice and snug, and also tightening down those screws. Once again, don't over tighten. I'm hooking up the power, which it has 2 8-pin connectors to power this thing up, which is quite nice. Now I had to put this in the sped up mode because this is the cable management side. Honestly, I thought this was going to be a beast, but cable management in this case, the Phanteks Lux, was beautiful. Oh my goodness, I couldn't believe it. I just kind of followed the natural path of all the ties, and then you can kind of see where you can add more Velcro straps to be able to make this a little bit cleaner, a little bit nicer. As you can see, I had put another strap in right there to be able to get that wire snug in place, and then you can just move things around as you need it, and it just makes things so clean, so clean. I couldn't believe that I was able to do that nice of a cable management job. I've never done cable management before, so I really was like blown away at that. Finally, I put in the RGB lights, and these are the ones that I got from Phanteks. These did not come with the case, but they are magnetic. They can hook into the motherboard with an additional part, and I just lined the entire inside of the case, and I decided to bring it a little bit deep to put a little more light and color in the back of there so that everything can be quite sweet. Now it's time for some beautiful B-roll and energetic music. Oh man, memories. This is a beautiful PC. It is wonderful to look at. I just love looking at this thing all the time, and a lot of my friends enjoy looking at it. I know it doesn't have like the dynamic RGB or anything like that, but I don't really need that. I kind of view it, feel it's a little distracting just for me. Tigerstorm has been operating wonderfully ever since I built it, and yeah. Oh. I'm so glad I finally got to share that with you guys. It's been too long. I know, I'm sorry. Well, that's going to wrap things up for this episode of Geek Done Right. Hey, do you have a custom build of your own? Post a link to some pictures of it down in the comment section down below. Let's talk about the parts that you picked, and if you have a PC part picker list, post it. Let's talk about it. Let's converse. Let's compare notes. It'll be a lot of fun. I love talking with you guys in the comment section. And please, 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 please make sure to smash that like button. It helps me out a lot. Once again, comment down below. Let's converse. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified of whenever I drop new episodes of Geek Done Right, which is the 2nd and 4th Saturday of every month. Until next time, y'all take it easy. Peace.